At the Okoli Law Group, we specialize in producing justice. If you or a loved one in the Atlanta metro area is facing serious criminal charges, then you need serious legal representation.
The Okoli Law Group is here for you. The Okoli Law Group is here for us.
The Okoli Law Group, serious legal representation.
Peace, family. We are live again. Donnie Samir, Search for Huru. Thank you all. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining on this beautiful Friday afternoon. Well, it's a little chilly here in Atlanta, but it's, I ain't complaining too much. The weather is supposed to drop. Well, the temperature is supposed to drop again next week, and I'm not looking forward to it. On Thursday of next week and Friday, the temperature's supposed to drop. I don't like it. I'm not happy at all. But anyways, do me a favor, hit the like button, hit that like button. Also make sure you share and make sure you subscribe. Got a couple of announcements before we jump into today's topic. We are rolling to hosting a group in April to Sierra Leone for they've reenacted these or reinstalled, or they're continuing, the citizenship initiative for those with DNA. But the great thing about it is they're actually expanding how many DNA companies they'll allow to show proof of connection to Sierra Leone. So Ancestry.com, African Ancestry, 23andMe, and CRI. Those are the companies that are hey Robin, how you doing? Oh, this is Robin, is this are you Marcella's mom? Ms. Robin, are you Marcella's mom? So that's what's going on. But you have to come twice and you have to wait a year. So every April and December are going to be the ceremonies. So if you come April this year, you have to wait till next April to get your passport. If you come December of this year, you have to wait to next December to get your passport. Good news is the people that came this past November, they'll be getting their passports in December, which is good news. So if you're interested in joining, please visit donfo.africa. Again, please visit donfo.africa. Also, we are rolling to Senegal in May, but that trip is filled up. Then we are going to where are we going? Nigeria in August for the Oshun Festival. Then we are going to Zanzibar in September. And then after that, Namibia and South Africa in November. Then Sierra Leone again in December. So if you're interested in joining, please visit donfo.africa. Again, if you're interested in joining, please visit donfo.africa to learn more. We'll love to host you on one of our tours. Marcella came, Miss Van's daughter. She came to Nigeria with me, guys. Give me a second. Sorry about that. Yeah, so she came to Nigeria with us. The first ever tour. Nigeria. That was August of 2019. Man, it's almost been 6 years. So Nigeria, that was August of 2019. It's almost been 6 years. She came with us, and we had a great time. Again, we had a great time. So please visit donfo.africa to learn more. Let's jump into today's topic. Listen, I understand a lot of you guys are mad that Trump won and you're upset with everything that he's doing. You don't agree with it. But in reality, he's doing everything he said he was going to do. Everything he said he was going to do, he's doing. So you can't be mad at the guy. And with that, what Trump is doing and all of his executive orders, there was one executive order in particular in regards to the Afrikaners or the white farmers of South Africa, them getting, I guess, preferred treatment when it comes to immigrating to the United States of America as refugees. Because, there's been this whole, ever since, South Africa ended apartheid, this whole, what's going on? This whole returning the land back to the native people, I guess is the correct term. I'm not sure. Reclaiming the land, because the whites in South Africa, like, they own like 70 or 80% of the land, 70-80% of the businesses, the majority of the South African stock market. So there's, I guess, inequity when it comes to equity in South Africa, and so the South African government is wanting to make it right. But it's interesting to see how that's going to look like, what that's going to look like. So, of course, there have been South African farmers who have been killed, who have been murdered. You've had the likes of Julius Malema. Again, you've had the likes of Julius Malema, who is always threatening to kill the white farmers. Who's a politician, by the way, who's always threatening to kill the white farmers and get the land or reclaim the land and hurt the farmers. So Trump was like, look, we're cutting aid to South Africa, which I agree with that part. In regards to the alleged killings or here we go, correct term, genocide of the genocide of the white farmers, I think that's way over exaggerated. That's just not true. So people were outraged. So I said, Dinus, by February 10, 2025, the U.S. is giving white Africans 15,159 temporary farm work permits, a record group for any group. Oh, wow. If you could post a link or try to post a link in the chat room to those statistics so we could, I could post it here. So with that being said, the tension, Trump was like, look, if y'all want to come to America, you can. I don't see the link. If you want to come to America, you can, as refugees, get preferred status. This outraged a lot of people. And he canceled aid, which I agree with the canceling of the aid part. So, and again, whenever Trump does something, a lot of misinformation comes out that I guess to so-called counter some of the decisions that Trump makes. So for a prime example, there was this misinformation rumor going around in regards to this what is it? Ivorian lady who got her allegedly got her U.S. passport taken away. But it was misinformation. It was fake news. 1, we didn't know the name of the lady. 2, we don't know the port of entry. 3, we don't know which airline she was on. And that's not how it works. Like I said, I have 3 passports. All right. I know how it works leaving and coming into the country. Again, I have 3 passports. So that story was hella bogus. But then there's another bogus story that's floating around by people who are like resisting Trump, but they're not resisting Trump because they're putting out misinformation to seem as if they're like resisting or that people are resisting. So for the most part, people are just getting in line. All right. Out of all the executive orders, Trump has had over 60 executive orders. Only a handful have been challenged by the courts. All right. So when the whole South Africa thing and the white South Africans get preferred treatment for immigration to immigrate into the United States of America, people were outraged, and then of course them cutting aid. People are like, man, South Africa needs to respond and they need to retaliate. And so this fake news started to spread that South Africa suspended all American business within South Africa. That's not true. I didn't get the link. Do me a favor, put the link in the chat room, but don't include like the www dot or the HTTPS. Just put like the information, and then I'll find it and I'll pull it up. Yeah, so now the new misinformation that's floating around is that South Africa suspended all American businesses within South Africa. And that's just not true. That's not true at all. And people are running with this information as if it's a victory. When it's like, it's not true. That didn't happen. That didn't happen at all. So we need to stop with the misinformation. Okay. Dinah's U.S. gives South Africans record temporary farm worker permits. Okay, let me look this up. There we go. I found it. I'm about to pull it up. Malema is not going to win presidency. No one takes Malema serious. I mean, people take him serious, but he's not going to win. You got to understand, South Africans are to the ANC what Black Americans are to the Democratic Party. Again, South Africans are to the ANC what Black people are to the Democratic Party. So Malema ain't winning. Hold on, let me do this real quick. Let's see if I can pull a video of it. Oh, this is interesting. Oh, okay. Hold on. I don't know. And I want to say fair use for this, but this could play a role in it. Hold on. Lighthouse Media, fair use, please. Fair use. Fair use.
Did you know? Each year, thousands of South Africans journey to work on farms across America. It is estimated that more than 7,000 South Africans make their way to the USA to help and assist farmers during their peak season. These farm workers can earn anything from $4,000 to $5,000 per month. It might not seem a lot for the majority of Americans, but converted back to the South African rand, these farm workers earn up to 75,000 rand per month, and some even more. Why do American farmers choose South Africans to come and work on their farms? It is reported that South Africans have natural farming abilities and are hard workers that get the job done. Besides the good earning potential for farm workers in America, why do so many South Africans choose to go work abroad? Currently, South Africa is facing its worst ever unemployment rate in history, at a staggering 35.6%. And with a political insecure climate that left the country in a grey state with power cuts from their electricity provider Eskom with up to 6 to 8 hours of no electricity daily, many businesses are forced to close or retrench workers to keep the doors open. And with a black economic empowerment policy implemented by the government that makes it extremely hard to find work, many are left with no choice but to seek employment abroad. Let's all hope that the future for South Africa can change. American farmers play a crucial role in our society today. They work hard to ensure we have enough food and supplies, often working around the clock from dawn until well beyond dusk. Over 2 million farms covers America's rural landscape, and 98% are owned and operated by families. America's farmers and ranchers make an important contribution to the U.S. economy by ensuring a safe and reliable food supply, improving energy security, and supporting job growth and economic development. The U.S. is the leading producer and exporter of corn, soybeans, and wheat, the staples for food production. The U.S. alone represents 50% of corn exports around the world. These commodities, alongside many others, make the U.S. the top agricultural output exporter with $182 billion. Nearly 18% of the nation's economy and 30% of American jobs are either directly or indirectly linked to the food and agriculture sectors. It's understandable that the farm owners in America is very dependent on good farm workers. And this making a way for South African farm workers to get employment abroad through the H-2A visa program. South Africa is one of the biggest farming cultures in the continent of Africa. Unfortunately, due to many farmers selling their farms in South Africa, we see many South African workers returning to America to pursue their farming careers abroad.
I'm tripping. Y'all, I'm muted. Yeah, I read all of this and I was muted the whole time. Oh man. All right. Man, I was muted the whole time. I gotta read the I was muted the whole time. Oh man, I gotta read through all this again. I was muted the whole time. All right, well, hey, we gotta read through it. We gotta start all over. I'm sorry, y'all. I was muted the whole time while I was muting this. Guys, hit the like button. Hit the like button. Let me go ahead and read through this again. That is my fault. That is my bad. That is on me. I was muted the whole time. Wow. Wow. All right, that's all over. U.S. gives South Africans record temporary farm worker permits. The U.S. issued a record number of visas to South Africans who do seasonal work on American farms last year. These workers received 15,159 such permits in the U.S. fiscal year through September, 19% more than a year earlier. Department of State data shows the vast majority of South African agricultural guest laborers in the U.S. are whites, descendants of the Europeans who colonized the nation from the 1600s. While the country's citizens are the second biggest recipients of these so-called H-2A visas, they garner far fewer permits than people from Mexico, to whom the U.S. issued 285,919 in the period the data shows. The U.S. granted 310,767 temporary visas to migrant workers in fiscal 2023, more than triple the amount distributed a decade earlier. American farms depend on more than 850,000 crop workers, almost half of whom the Department of Agriculture estimates are undocumented. In an executive order Friday, President Donald Trump said that the U.S. would promote the resettlement of so-called Afrikaners and their families as refugees. An offer Pretoria quickly contrasted with Trump's immigration crackdown at home. He issued a directive at the Foster claiming that the South African authorities are confiscating private property under new land legislation. The order stated that the Expropriation Act, signed in December, enables the government to seize ethnic minority Afrikaners' agricultural property without compensation. It follows countless government policies designed to dismantle equal opportunity in employment, education, and business, and hateful rhetoric and government actions fueling disproportionate violence against racially disfavored landowners. The bill is similar to eminent domain laws in the U.S. that allows the government to expropriate land, in some cases, South Africa's second biggest political party. The Democratic Alliance on February 7th asked the High Court for an order that would nullify the act in its current form. Under apartheid, most Black South Africans were forbidden from owning property, while white people continue to control the vast majority of farmland, despite accounting for only 7% of the population. President Cyril Ramaphosa's party, the African National Congress, blamed white Africans' rights group AfriForum for Washington's move, saying that its years of lobbying right-wing U.S. politicians have misled the global community and protect apartheid-era land ownership patterns. While some groups have said that white farmers have been targeted in violent attacks, crime in South Africa's broadly rampant, with many blaming extreme inequality for rising levels of murders and assaults of residents of all races. Economic growth has averaged less than 1% annually for the past decade, and the jobless rate is among the highest in the nations, tracked by Bloomberg. More than 20,000 Afrikaners have already asked the South African Chamber of Commerce and the USA about Trump's offer for refugee status. Okay, so wow, I mean, that's a lot. Network 24 reported citing Chamber's president Neil Diamond. Nah, so what I was talking about this, as far as this crime, violent attacks, crime in South Africa is broadly rampant, and this is in Joburg. So in Joburg, literally, there's blocks of high rises that have been taken over by criminals and thugs and gangs. Kind of like if you guys seen the movie New Jack City, where they had taken over the projects. So like buildings in downtown Joburg have been taken over by like gangs. Kind of like in New Jack City. I forgot the name of the building. I think it was called the Star Trek Enterprise, the building that Nino Brown and them had taken over in New Jack City. So that's where a lot of this is stemming from. So Trump does something, then people will create these false narratives and stories to kind of say like, oh, either people are fighting back, or in the case of the Ivorian woman, they're making it harder for people to come into America to the point where even if you have dual citizenship, it might be tough for you to get into the country, which is just false. Because again, I have 3 passports, so I know how it works. So yeah. But guys, I'm gonna put the link in the chat. It's called the Carter. Okay. The Carter building. I thought it was Star Trek Enterprise. No, you're right, PB Bob, but they're not taking over high-rise buildings in like our downtown areas, Maybe in the past when there were projects near downtown, but now like they're not gonna bum rush a high-rise building downtown and take it over and just do whatever the hell they want. That's not happening, PP Bob. But links in the chat room. Link is in the chat room. If you want to call in and add to the conversation, you're more than welcome to call in and add to the conversation. Again, if you want to call in and add to the conversation. But guys, a lot of these stories, again, they're fake news. Make sure you verify them. They're either to hype you up or make you panic, and it doesn't help. Again, if you want to deal with Trump, once again, if you want to deal with Trump, you need to have a strategy. And as of right now, the only strategy I hear when it comes to dealing with Trump is Trump is a racist, Trump is a racist, Trump is a racist, Trump is a racist. And now one is Elon is apartheid South Africa. Elon's apartheid South Africa. Elon benefit from apartheid South Africa. That's like the only strategy the other party has now, not an actual strategy. All right, go ahead, South Africa. South Africa, meet yourself.
Yeah, Dynast, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. Look, I don't know, man. For me, like this whole USA aid being cancelled, offering white people some sort of what do you call refuge in America, it's not a big deal from a South African point of view. Like that aid, I personally don't think we need that aid that they're giving South Africa. So over here, I don't mind them canceling that aid. And also like to correct some things, like in terms of like what you said about the ANC. The ANC technically didn't win the last election. They got under 50%. I think it was around 40%.
Right.
So they don't have the loyalty that they used to have.
So you're saying the Democratic Alliance won it?
No, they also didn't win it. There was no. The ANC still got most of the votes, but they were at 40%. You need 50 plus 1 to win an election in South Africa.
Okay.
So technically, they didn't win the election. They went into a coalition with the Democratic Alliance, with the DA. So they didn't win the election. So the ANC doesn't have the power that it used to have. It slipped. What you said earlier on might have applied, like let's say maybe 10, 20 years ago, but today, no. Because they technically didn't win the election. And they seem to be going down every election, the ANC. So, yeah. And personally, the whole Trump thing, look, I just don't see it as much of a threat right now. Like the USA aid thing, there's a lot of dodginess and corruption there, so no, it doesn't matter that much. Them granting white Afrikaners, like, I just think maybe they might want some white farmers over there. I don't know. But personally, most of these people are not going to leave. That's just a fact. It's just not going to happen. 10,000 seems like a lot, but if there really was a problem, more people would be applying. And they're the ones who are telling people that they're not going. The same organization, Afri Forum, that pushed this whole thing that led to Trump saying what he did, like the order that he did. They're the ones saying, no, we don't want to leave, actually. We just want whatever they want. I don't know what they want. So, it's not happening. They're not going anywhere, these people. So, yeah.
Okay. Somebody wanted me to ask you: are you a colored, white, or a black South African?
I'm black.
Okay. Cool. All right. Buck, go ahead.
Hey, man, I just want to interject, and say this, man. It's like us Americans, man, we just tired of feeding the world.
I agree.
And we're like, what is it, $30 trillion in debt. And it's like, imagine, let me use this analogy. Imagine you personally, you have credit card debt, you have mortgage, and you still giving, and you bring in an income, but you still giving other people some of your money. You'd be like, that doesn't make no sense. And I'm using the same analogy to America. We're in $30 trillion in debt, and we're giving other countries all this shit. And it's like, first of all, let's decrease the debt and let's get into a surplus. Then we can stop. We can start talking about giving other countries aid and all that. But we're in $30 trillion in debt. That is the main focal point. I mean, I saw some of the most, because I was looking at Elon Musk and his Doge team. What they found is some of the most crazy. They sent Biden's administration sent $50 million worth of condoms to Palestine, Gaza. And I was like, you see, it's the allocation of the resources and some of the other stuff. They were trying to promote DEI programs in all over the world, like teaching, kids about the whole tranny shit and all that. And I look at it, I'm like, some of our stuff was going. They spent millions and millions of dollars into that shit. I'm like, that is the most bizarre shit. First of all, I'm for America cutting all aid to all these countries. All these countries need to figure out their own shit, just like how America was able to figure out their own shit. It's like, do not depend on America. Do not depend on us. Y'all figure out your own shit. And here, in America, we're gonna focus on decreasing this debt. After we decrease this debt and we turn into a surplus, then we can start talking about aid. The thing with aid is there's a quote. There's a quote, right? Give a man a fish, and he will always depend on you. Teach a man how to fish, and that man will become sufficient. It's just the analogy. So I feel like, personally, America should just stop giving aid. These countries can figure out what they want, and America should focus on paying off this $30 trillion worth of debt. And I'll land my plane over there.
Hey, South Africa, real quick. Give me your honest opinion on Julius Malema and how the people feel about him.
Look, personally, there are people who do like Julius Malema, and there are people who just don't care whether he's there or not. That's the reality. And then some of the people who might have voted for Malema just didn't like his stance on immigration. That's one of the reasons why he dipped. The EFF dipped. They didn't agree.
What's their stance on immigration?
The EFF stance on immigration is the whole open borders thing.
Oh, okay.
Like, open borders thing, and people don't agree with the open board. Those are some of the people that would have voted for Malema. So his party would have gained more if he didn't have the stance that he had. So personally, I'm not a Julius Malema fan. I've never been on. So yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Skylar.
Hey, I have a question for the South African guy. What do you think of, what do you think of the African transformation movement? I'm a huge fan of that guy. I don't know his name, but like Busi something. Like he's like pro Africa, but he's not like a communist. Like I don't really like the ANC or like EFF because like they're kind of like communist and they want like everything they own by the state. I really don't support that, but I support the other guy who's for land, who's like more pro Africa, but he's more capitalistic. He want more private, like he's not like for the state owning everything, pretty much. Like I really do like that guy, Boosie, something like that. Like African transformation. What do you think about? Yeah, go ahead.
I think his name is Vuyo Zungula, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I think he's Zulu, right?
Nah, he's Xhosa.
Cool. Okay, yeah. What do you think of him?
I like that guy. He seems to be more measured. He's not anti-Africa, but I think he's more pragmatic.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
He doesn't seem to be pragmatic. Like he doesn't seem. I don't know why, but one of the reasons why a lot of people gravitated towards Julius Malema is he's more charismatic, and I think he doesn't have that. But personally, for me, a lot of his policies, a lot of things that he does, I personally voted for that guy. So
I like his.
I prefer
I like his
that
policy
guy
a lot. Yeah, what do you think of like the new movement with Zuma? Like I feel like it's just another EFF. Like I feel like the MK party EFF, they're all like branches of the EFF. And I mean it's all branches of the ANC. Like Jacob Zuma was ANC, Julius Malema was ANC. And I feel like the MK is gonna go away once Jacob Zuma passes away. Jacob Zuma's very old. And like EFF is going down too. So what do you think of like Jacob Zuma and like the MK as a whole?
Personally, MK, I don't see it surviving because it's built around one individual, like Jacob Zuma, and over time it will fall. And a lot of their policies, like it's just another branch of the ANC, like the EFF. So that's one of the reasons why the ANC dipped below 50, is because they lost a leader like that, like Jacob Zuma, like that whole problems that they have with Jacob Zuma, the whole conflict that was in the ANC. That's one of the reasons why the ANC dipped below 50. Jacob Zuma dies, it's over for that party. So and it's more centered around KZN. So a party like that won't survive in South Africa unless if they reach out to more people. Yeah.
What do you think of like the whole Cape independence movement? I feel like the boards are trying to make like the Cape independence more of a real thing. Like that dude Phil Craig. I don't know if you heard about him, Phil Craig. Like he's not even a white South African. He moved to South Africa. He's from Britain. Like literally immigrated, like in like 2010 or something like that. And he's trying to secede. He's trying to push for Cape independence. What do you think of like making like a law to like take away people's citizenship?
Look, right now, you know that guy Vuyo Zungula, he's one of the people that put it up in parliament, and I think even through the courts for that guy to be, for his citizenship to be taken away, because technically he wasn't born in South Africa and is interfering in South African politics, so he shouldn't be allowed to do that. And the whole Cape independence thing, the only way you can secede from South Africa is through war. There's no law right now that I know of, even constitutionally, where you can do that. So it's impossible. And a lot of white people are comfortable. I don't see that happening in South Africa right now. So
yeah, but
my
fear is that my fear, like, do you think like the color, if there's a war, do you think the colors will side with the whites or with the blacks? What do you think?
Look, colored people are different. Like the colored people who will, the colored people who won't. And a lot of colored people are also just pro-colored themselves as their community. So, like, my interactions with colored people tell me that. So it's hard to say. I think most groups are for themselves. And in the Western Cape, they're technically, like, they're traditionally the majority there. I think it might have changed now with more black people moving into the Western Cape, but they still have large numbers over there. So they're the ones who could determine stuff over there. But I don't see war happening. It's just that people are too comfortable over here.
I just
Okay,
wanna,
anyone else? Yeah, go ahead, Buck. Go ahead, Buck.
yeah, I just want to interject, man.
And then after that, I got to pass it to Ola. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I know you from South Africa. I mean, and this don't take offense to this question, bro. And I'm gonna ask you this. Now, South Africa, you know, when we look at the HIV rates, 25% of the population has HIV. What
You
happened
said
is like that's those
you
rates
said,
are
we said 25%.
yes, 25%. Just look it up if you want. It's
Oh, Lord.
25%. So my question is like, yo, what's going on over there? Because I always want to visit South Africa, and I'm like, I look at the rates, I was like, whoa. So go ahead, South Africa.
Look, no offense is taken. Look, the whole HIV rate thing. Look, a lot of people believe that the HIV rate thing was passed on by the apartheid government, but they were trying to like kill off a lot of black people, which nearly succeeded. But one of the reasons why it's as high as it is that like there was a what do you call, there was an apartheid division called Stratcom, and then there was a guy that was running it called Adrian Basson. So they were trying to use HIV to kill a lot of black people, and it could have worked because I think in 1994 when Mandela became president, I think his own son also died of AIDS, like his oldest son. And what he noticed that year was that there were more people dying than people being born in that year. And then when they did their research, they found out that it was this whole HIV thing. So it was actually spread into the population. It's some sort of, is it biomechanical warfare or some shit like that? I don't know how to describe, but that's what happened. It was intentional back
No, let me
then.
pass.
But it's been,
Go ahead.
but it's
Hava.
actually gone down. But it's personally over the years, it's actually gone down. So it's not as high as it used to be. It's very low. I'm not sure what the current numbers are, but it's not as a bigger issue as a lot of people are making it out to be, like it used to be.
Yeah. I was just looking at the latest numbers, and I was like, whoa, because South Africa is beautiful, and you guys have beautiful women, it's like, but when I looked at the latest data, I'm like, whew. Yeah, I mean, thanks for, I mean, the thing with Africa is like,
Well, God, let me pass it to Ola,
go ahead,
Buck.
go ahead.
Either way, go ahead, Ola.
Thank you, man. I can understand. He's far more focused about HIV and all these things. Bro, HIV is everywhere. There's a numbers might be blown up by the Western people because that's part of the way they want to demonize the blacks over there and and reduce them. It's a pity that South Africa play also into this role also by a woman who was working CNN. It's early night. I think she left later after she found out she was being used also heavily. She was the first African CNN broadcaster at that time. She was also running the propaganda on them also on African problem, war, disease, and everything. Let me tell you something. If HIV was in South Africa like that, why is it that Nigerians are marrying them a lot? So you have to understand some of these numbers are just being blown up there. United States, you're staying, I swear to God, that's where you also have to be very careful too, bro. It's not being written in nobody's face. If you're not careful, you get it. South Africa problem is this. It's just because it's the way they free Mandela, the way everything is being arranged. The whites are still very, very powerful just because they have allies, the Europeans allies, American allies, Zimbabwe before were not tripping to South Africa, or Mugabe drove away the white farmers, or then they now use Zimbabwe as an example. That scared hell out of South Africa. I can understand why South Africa would not want those land back. Everywhere is heavily developed in South Africa. The farmland, maybe there are farmers, everything there. But still, when Mandela was being freed, right, they did it purposely. They gave him some kind of political power, but with a very less decision autonomy on it. So what do you expect? What they did, they blow his name up with media. Hero. Say hero. He started sleeping for all palaces in Europe. You know, England palaces, Netherlands palaces, the Denmark palace. They gave him the phone number of Diana, Elizabeth Taylor, to be called Elizabeth Taylor in the night, to be saying, "Hello, Elizabeth Taylor, I'm Mandela, I'm be free now. I watch your movies." You know, they use media to propagate him up, but they were they know what they were doing. You know, they know they will give the ANC some steady time to rule well. After that, they start knocking them. Now is the time they're knocking them. It's not now. Forget about Trump starting them. Already during the Biden time, the media was already criticizing this guy's government. Sure, yeah, most of these guys are corrupt. That is a problem of every black man. Some things that they did wrong and everything. Then you see, they have the power, and the firepower is with them. And I bet you they're ready to fight. These blue people, forget it. The Negroes, they cannot drive this white people away. Just forget about it. They're ready to fight.
Yeah.
And
let me piggyback, man, into this.
go ahead, bro.
And I think and this is me. I'm not trying to be conspiracy. I think South Africa was kind of punished for reverting back at the colonialists, and I think that's how HIV was introduced over there. It's just that you can't tell me that
HIV.
It's like
HIV.
You cutting off, bro. You cutting off.
HIV was spread. This is factual.
Okay.
Okay.
Lewis, you're cutting
Can
out.
you hear me?
I need to pass. But I need to pass it to Chrissy because Chrissy was waiting. Go ahead, Chrissy.
I just want to ask the panel this one more question, and I'm up. Now, scientists are saying like HIV came from a guy who went to the jungle and banged with a monkey, and he spread it.
Oh, get out of it! All that rubbish. HIV
was guy. Who is this guy? What are you talking about?
No, I'm just saying. I'm quoting. I'm quoting.
American scientists
hold on.
California.
Hold on, bro. I'm just quoting what scientists are saying. I'm not. This is not particularly my view. So you guys,
scientists, I know.
Listen,
saying
I'm
that.
just saying. What points do you guys?
That was PR propaganda.
Do you guys? It was a man-made, or you believe it was a dude that went to the? Yeah, you gotta drop that dude.
Yeah. Lewis, you gotta call in on a different device because your connection is bad. Like leave and come back. All right, go ahead, Buck. I can pass it to Chrissy.
Yeah, I just want to say, because like piggyback over what I was saying, I was just making a quote. It's not that I make, because I was just saying that now the consensus in the science community is that HIV was first created because a guy went to the jungle and had sex with a monkey, and then he had a sex with his own girl, and that's how it was spread. That's the consensus within the science community. That's not my view. That's what they say. Even though I disagree with it, I think it was a man-made. Personally, I think it was a man-made. I think it was a man-made to get rid of certain people. That's what it is.
All right, let me pass it to Chrissy. Go ahead, Chrissy. You gotta mute yourself, Chrissy.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Hi, everyone. Yeah, I was just calling to. There was a guy who was saying that America has to stop feeding the world, giving aid to the world, and all that kind of stuff, and focus on themselves. I just want to be clear that this quote unquote aid is not charity. It's not Santa Claus. America pushes aid to what they say to expand their quote unquote interests. A lot of the aid ends up in like money laundering. It ends up many times it doesn't even go to the people. It goes to American contractors who are on the ground, supposedly doing certain projects. A lot of it ends up in corrupt leaders' hands, and what the U.S. gets from these small bribes: cheap coltan, cheap rubber, cheap oil, cheap gold. They're getting way more than they're giving. It's not something they're doing out of the goodness of their heart. USAID will have a project where, or through also USDA, will have a project where they will export rice to an area that has local thriving rice industry to kill the thriving rice industry and flood the markets with US made things. USAID is a tool of imperialism. It is a tool to weaken economies. It is a tool to bribe corrupt leaders and help to funnel resources into other countries and also to destabilize countries. Out of this whole audit that Doge is doing, it came out that USAID gave Jamaica $1.5 million for LGBT initiatives. Now, if anybody's familiar with Jamaica, they know that culturally, that's not something that we embrace. The U.S. Embassy has also placed the rainbow flag on their embassy in Kingston. You know, the embassy is considered their territory. They've pushed it, and even heard that at the University of West Indies, they were trying to push this. People can identify how they want, and there was outrage against it. So USAID is a tool of the United States to push their agendas, to destabilize societies, destabilize governments, and to ensure that their interests, which keep them strong, are at play. So it's really important, even though I know a lot of Americans really don't look at foreign policy, don't understand it, don't care, to kind of know what's really going on, so that you will not think that America's just being one big Santa Claus and just giving all this money. What America is getting back is feeding your ability to get cheap technology, to buy gas, to get rubber, to get cheap goods at the end of the day. That's kind of like the end of the supply chain. That's what it allows you to do, which basically it allows the exploitation of other peoples in order for that to be done. So it's not some altruistic thing that the United States is doing. And that's what I want to say. Also, since you're talking about the whole sex monkey thing, I think honestly that narrative is the most idiotic narrative. I know you're not pushing it. Idiotic narrative I've ever heard. The United States has bio warfare sites, all hundreds of them across the planet. There's also a patent for HIV. Now, generally, you have a patent when you've created something. And I just, the idea that America would have all these biowarfare sites where they're tinkering with diseases and making diseases just for the sake of doing it with no intention of using it, I think is ridiculous. AIDS was introduced to Africa in the Congo. You know, Congo's always been messed with. There's actually two strands. There's HIV-1, HIV-2. And they started to see occurrences of it after the polio vaccination, global polio vaccination campaign in the 1940s. That's when the first, evidence of it started to arise. And from there, it started to see it in many other parts of Africa. I think HIV-1 is prevalent in West Africa and HIV-2 or something like that on the other side. So when you really start to look at things, you start to say, this doesn't make sense. So I just, again, personally also
Hold on,
believe
please,
that it is part of biological
hold on.
warfare.
I'm from Africa, because this narrative that HIV was being pushed to Africa is a damn lie. A damn lie. My father was born inside 1942, not on an hospital, not on the rainwater or water they stored in the community. My father never knew nothing about HIV until HIV started pumping out in 1988 by being written by an American news watch. So this goddamn shit that HIV was pumping in Africa, no fucking damn lie. People started dying of HIV in Africa in the 90s. So steady country. When Ebola came to Congo, because Mobutu Seko was like their puppet, I think that's that HIV might even get to Congo. You understand me? So HIV never come to Zaire inside 1940. So if you don't know nothing about the continent, they know about HIV in that continent. People were polygamous, having 100 children, have all kind of children. Hospital was less and everything. Africa was not going to take no mercy from the white men, even during the colonial time. They go to the native doctors and herbs. It's when this rivalry between Soviet Union, NATO, and now it's time to deal with African after post independence time. That's when they start. This HIV start bringing out possibilities to certain countries. Late 80s, Congo, South Africa also have started pumping head out. Also, Nigeria, they were not like HIV inside 90s. I was a student, so I went to all the UBCH in my university, because that was a South African woman was among the people. It's a black woman that propagate this nonsense that even you live in your own country. When they start saying, HIV is in Africa, I asked my friend that work in pharmacies, hey, bro, Do you see the HIV in the teaching hospital? No, I went over there to start looking for HIV patients. I didn't see none. It was when this movement, this large movement of Africans started going to Europe, United States, those people that are coming from those territories to visit, possibility, that's when the strain of HIV started having pumped out expertise that work in these oil companies, these white men that dance in club, date these African women. You know, that's when HIV started pumping out. So Africa doesn't have that mess. It will show in time way back. If HIV actually pump out, they say HIV1, HIV2, monkey or no monkey. Is it to the Africans are eating monkey? Why they not die in monkey?
Well,
So we
I'm
have
sorry.
to,
Are you saying that I'm
we have
trying
to
to
be very
promote the monkey narrative?
No. We have to be very, because it's HIV1 in Africa. There's no HIV1. There's no HIV2 in
There is
Africa.
there is HIV1. I can pull up and provide the resources.
This
There are two
disease is a
different strands
lab.
of HIV. There's
This
HIV1 and
disease,
HIV2. One is a bit more aggressive than the other one.
this
And the
disease
first instances where it's recorded, and I can even find that and put that in the chat as well, was
the
in the
white man wrote that
1940s
book.
after the polio vaccination. Meaning that, and I'm saying that to say that
The white man wrote
clearly
that book.
it was an entry point because they're vaccinating people. What were they vaccinating people with? Right?
Let me
I don't think evil.
let me pass the mic to Vovo Rants. Go ahead, Vovo.
Yeah, I wanted to add a couple points. I didn't hear the whole conversation, but just for the record, in my opinion and from what I've looked up, you know what I mean, HIV came from white people. Right now, 1% of all Caucasians on planet Earth is immune to HIV. From going back to the Black Plague in Europe, you can look that up yourself. So if you're immune to something, then your body has built up antibodies against it. I mean, your body has seen it before. Your DNA has seen this before, and it knows what to do. So, you know, just going back to Europe and the Black Plague. As far as the aid to Africa thing, I'm glad that they starting to stop calling it aid. That they not, because they were just naming it aid. They really just Africa is not doing good business for their stuff. That's just what it is. They're not doing good business. Calling it aid is it's really like I'm just glad that Trump stopped calling it aid, because it makes it look like you're swindling them or something like that. Like you're giving them aid, but you're getting the resources out of it. No, we can just give you this money and we just want this stuff. And if you ain't smart enough to do good business, then that's on you. You know what I mean? Like I'm glad that they stopped calling it aid, because it ain't no reason why that you should be calling it aid. No, we're giving you money and we're taking stuff out. That's a purchase. That's a purchase. Now, you may not be, you may can't get what you're supposed to get for it, or you don't want what you're supposed to get for it. But let's stop acting like it's aid. It's just a purchase. You know what I mean? And the money isn't going to the people anyway. There's no reason why they got all this stuff coming out of the ground: gold, oil, diamonds, everything you can name coming out of the ground. And there's dirt roads, no running water, no toilets, no electricity. That's silly. It's 2025. It's 2025. So that's silly. If they doing bad business, then that's just what it is. The world can't wait for Africa. You know what I mean? The world can't wait. That's just business. If I'm in business, people gonna try to swindle you. A guy tried to swindle me yesterday. I just knew that I didn't allow him to do it because I was up on game. At this point, if you can't see that you're being cheated, then that's something. Hey, nobody's going to wait for you. You're just doing bad business. That's just what it is. Africa don't need aid. They need their people to return back with the knowledge. That's what they need. They need the know-how. They need the people they need energetic people that got the knowledge, that's going to return back and say, hey, we need to cut down this through here, and we need to build a road through here. And they need the engineers to go back. They need the doctors to go back. They need the lawyers. The lawyers are business people. They need business people to go back. You know what I mean? And say that I'm doing this for Africa. I'm doing this for my country. I got to take the hit. I got to sacrifice something. I got to go through the tough times with my people. But they don't need no aid. And I'm just glad that Trump is, what he's doing. He's just stopped calling it aid. Now, is America going to stop giving money to Africa and taking stuff out of Africa? Of course not. Nobody is. The world needs this stuff. but let's stop calling it aid.
So let me just say this. I do agree with some of the points that Chrissy said. I also agree with some of the points you said. Here's the thing with Trump: he cut the USDA. I mean, he's in the process of terminating that whole agency. But one thing he did is like that, right? One other thing he also did is like he made it legal for bribery for businesses in America to do bribery overseas. It used to be illegal. So he made one thing, he canceled one thing and made the other thing that was illegal legal right now. Bribery used to be illegal. For example, U.S. companies could not go overseas and bribe politicians or bribe companies or bribe people overseas. He made that shit legal now. So it's basically a loophole, but it just I do agree with some of the points. That aid doesn't go to the people. It goes only to the top people. Like, for example, we sent millions of dollars to Congo, probably only like less than 100 people get that aid, and they don't even distribute it to the rest of the population. So it's like that. It's not helpful. That's why I said it's like it doesn't help those countries at all. And this it just I just understand is like why people are just like, especially people on the left, are kind of furious about this agency being canceled. It's like, what is there to complain about?
Well, they use their aid as a whipping stick as well. When they sent Kamala Harris over there last year to try to push the LGBT agenda on, I forgot which African country that was.
Ghana.
Ghana was a Ghana. Yeah, that was ridiculous. You're gonna cut my aid off if I don't have sex the way you want me to have sex? You treat me like a prostitute. That's literally how you treat a prostitute. I'm paying you to have sex the way I want you to have it. That's not their culture. That's not their tradition. You can't do that. So they use that aid as a whipping stick. So I like Trump aid. It ain't no whipping stick. It ain't nothing. We're going to give you money for your stuff. It's going to be the same amount anyway. It's not.
Hey, yo.
100%.
I have some more questions for South Africa. Hey.
Well, no. We got let me read the super chat. Buck, there are American companies in Africa. Okay, let Vovo Rants finish. Then we go past the Awele.
All right, I was gonna say that like America. I mean, like some of the stuff. Like I was looking at.
Buck, it's not your turn. Vovo Rants. We're going to Awele.
Yeah, I'm basically pretty much done. The aid is not going to go to the people anyway. Period. Like I keep saying, I get in trouble for this all the time. Africa got a sellout problem, and until they fix that, it don't matter. You don't have to act like it's aid no more. I'm just going to give you this money. You're not going to do the right thing anyway. So it's like there's done. Like why would I pretend? I don't have to keep pretend. I'm going to give you this money for this stuff, and you're going to cheat your people. Period. So let's stop acting. You know what I mean? That's why I like Trump. He's a straight shooter. We're gonna just give you this money for this stuff. Whatever you decide to do with it, you know what I mean, is what you decide to do with it. Whether it's aid or not, you're supposed to take care of your people. They're just not about to do that. I can't see the culture changing like that because they stopped calling it aid. Appreciate you letting me speak, brother.
No problem. Go ahead.
Okay, bro. Thanks. This is for my first time here. The aid actually, it takes a lot. When they send that money to Africa or wherever, a very huge chunk of that money is still sent back to the US through their shell companies. And what the intention of the money or whatever they say is going to be used in Africa, they never do. They never. So those who facilitate the lobby and everything, they share the money with their counterparts who help them to lobby for the money from the US. And the rest is channeled to their bad intentions, maybe for terrorism or whatever they want to sponsor or coup. I remember that was 2012. when they try to force this LGBTQ on Nigeria, I think it should be 2012 on the former President Jonathan, and he refused to sign that because they made the law against when they made the law against the LGBTQ, and Obama made them push. That was at the height of Boko Haram, and they refused to sign that everybody, the LGBTQ should be allowed in Nigeria. Ebola outbreak came, and US or the World Health Organization actually refused to give us a vaccine or to help. We actually had to develop our own vaccine. I think the man that developed that, is a Nigerian guy. He's late, I think so. So we Africa who don't need aid, and we stop blaming the colonialism, neo-colonialism, or whatever. We should start blaming ourselves. This like 60 years now, we keep blaming the West. It's time we blame ourselves and fix our problems. These are grown-ass men. No, you shouldn't be taking instruction from someone who doesn't care for your people.
Yep. Well said, brother.
Thank you.
Well
I'll
said.
end here.
Let me pass the Lewis. Go ahead, Lewis.
Yeah, listen, I don't think we should get away from the topic at hand. The brother said Africa has a sellout problem. We do, brother. And then Krumah mentioned it, he called it neo-colonialism. Unfortunately, that image of the white man as Jesus have done a great work on our brain. In South Africa, you're looking at a perfect example. Whenever you hear a black South African talk about land reform, oh, we don't want to be like Zimbabwe. Oh, we don't want to be like Zimbabwe. Listen, the Zimbabweans run their affairs. And if I may give a quote from Secretary, we would rather have freedom in poverty than servitude under subjugation. The black people in South Africa have servitude under subjugation. Everybody's allowed to come in. The Chinese, the Indians, the whites, but the people who don't get in to get nowhere are the blacks. Okay? If you want freedom, Zimbabwe is what freedom looks like when you want to get away from the white man. If you're not prepared for that, stop wasting people's time. If white people were to start leaving in masses to go to America, you should welcome this. You should be praising Trump. In fact, you should be winding up Trump, get people to pretend they're going to kill white people so one white people to leave. You should want them to leave. But if white people were to start leaving in mass numbers, you'll be on the tarmac, on the airport runway, begging them to stay. This is the problem you got. Whenever we get the right leaders going to push us forward, the white man's in there, instituting a coup d'etat. He's instructing people like Kagame, go start war. This is the problem we got a big sellout. So I think not all of us going to make it. We just need to get like-minded people. We can work together. As for South Africa, they chose the black South Africans. They chose this white man. They chose to live with him. And the white man got away scotch-free without paying a dime. In fact, today he's been legitimized. He actually goes around the world, investing in other parts of Africa as legitimized companies and people. They've never had to pay. So this is what you get. If you're not willing to fight the white man on the battlefield, this is what you get. If you're not willing to pay the freedom and the struggle that Zimbabwe went through, if you're not willing for that, then don't even discuss this. You've got to face these people sooner or later.
Let me pass it to Maximilian. Go ahead.
What's up, Dynas, man? You know, I'm always listening to your show, and some of these people are not for me, but me and Dynas are good friends. Dynas, I'm going to add this to it, is that this is my opinion. A lot of things that are going on the African continent, y'all biggest resource is the resource y'all have the ability to use, but you don't use, and that's called African Americans. We've been dealing with white people for 400 years. We know white people better than anybody. Y'all are fighting, you fight with one hand behind your back. We went through the civil rights movement with white people. Instead of, saying that we want African Americans, we shouldn't be begging y'all to come to that country, come to the continent. Y'all should be begging us to come there because we can deal with him. Donald Trump is the best thing he ever did with Africans. Cut their need off. I'm gonna cut you off. You're not gonna get anything from us. We don't need anything from America. You have the minerals. You have the gold. You have the platinum. Okay, Donald Trump, we don't need your money. You're just not getting no gold. You're not getting no platinum. You're getting none of our minerals. You got to
don't have to
learn how
do.
to play the white man's game.
Yeah. You don't have to do business with them now. This is not their
Yeah,
1800, 1900. You can do all the business. Mugabe said you can go east. You don't have to deal with these people at all.
But my thing is, this is what I'm trying, because I don't want to interrupt anybody. Your biggest thing that you have working for you is African Americans are Europeans. We're Westerners. We know how he thinks. We think the same way. And a lot of times when you don't deal with a white man, you really don't know how to deal with him, because he'll be telling you he wants to do one thing, but he really wants to do something else. He has no intention of cutting your minerals off. What he wants you to do, or cutting your aid off, what he wants you to do is get the higher hand on you, so you'll beg him to send you $10 million or $1 billion when he's stealing $1 trillion worth of resources from you. Tell him to go to hell on and see how quickly Donald Trump would change his mind. Donald Trump, and that's the thing about black countries, we let him bluff us. Well, don't cut us off and don't do this and we'll do what you want us to do. Just no, go ahead and leave. You have to. You can never negotiate from a position of weakness. Can you, Dynast?
Nope.
So y'all start allowing some of these African Americans to come home, because that's where we're from. We've been over here 400 years dealing with him. Put us in some positions when we're at the table. Let us sit there with y'all and show y'all how he's coming about it. And then we're not saying we want to take over the country, but that's our home too. Let us be an asset to help defend the country, the continent, when I say that. And not just let it be Ghana, not just let it be Sierra Leone, make it South Africa, make it Uganda. Everybody should be welcoming their people home. Because my ancestors from Nigeria, I'm 48% Nigerian. That's where I'm supposed to be, or in the Congo. So it's a lot of benefits to letting us come to where we need to be. I don't need to be in Ghana. I need to be in Nigeria, where my people are from. And Dynast, I appreciate you letting me on, man. But Dynast is doing a lot, but y'all need to help him getting some of y'all help over there too. And Dynast, I appreciate you. I love you, man. And I'll probably see you tomorrow, Dynast.
Yes, sir. Vovo Rants, go ahead. I'm gonna pass it to Fuller Williams. Go ahead, Vovo Rants.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and go fast. I emphatically disagree with that. We don't need to be going over there. Go over there and do business. If you want to welcome Black Americans home, build a port where we can do some shipping and receiving, start doing business. But us coming over there and getting in their business and all that, I just don't agree with that. You're not gonna understand the culture, to be pulling those strings and wagging your finger at nobody and all that. I just don't agree with that. Like, I'm almost 40 years old. I wouldn't be able to go over there and understand the people. We might look similar and all that, you know what I mean? But I wouldn't be able to go over there. I wouldn't understand the culture. And that just would be real. You know what I mean? If you want to if we do business with each other, that would be great. That's the best thing. It should be a port city, maybe. Yeah, and we can ship stuff back and forth and do business. That's what will be the best thing. But we're not Africa's greatest resource. Africa's greatest resource is its people. It's indigenous people. Like I said, the people need to return home. Even if you go back and you're not rich or something like that, you need to return home with the knowledge, with the know-how. Yeah, that's his greatest resource. You know what I mean? Because they don't know what to do with the stuff. They got fertile farmland, fertile fishing waters. They got gold, oil, diamonds, everything coming out of the ground. If they built the dome around Africa and nothing goes in and nothing comes out, Africa would be good indefinitely. So it ain't us like we're over here and we know how to deal with the white folks. No, that's something that they need to handle, and I'm rooting for them. I hope they do handle it. You know what I mean? I can't see it in the foreseeable future. Maybe not in my lifetime, but I hope they do fix it. I hope they do get it together. But it's not Black Americans are going to go over there. That's just outrageous.
Let me pass.
Can I say something?
Well, let me pass the Fuller first, and I'll pass to you, Chrissy. Go ahead, Fuller.
Yeah,
Fuller
thank you,
Williams.
my brother.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
can you hear me? Can you
Loud
hear
and
me?
clear. Go ahead. Yes.
Thank you very much, my brother. I'm from Liberia, West Africa. And I agree with the previous brother before this guy that just spoke. And the reason why I agree with him is because our people don't understand the dynamic of the white man. in Africa, they don't understand it, brother. We don't. Like I came to the US before I understand the game, this con of the white man. When I was back home, I didn't know. And I'm just an individual person, but I'm speaking when you look at the government, our government, most of them don't understand how the white man roll. So we need our brothers in the diaspora to teach us. We need it. When you talk about culture, the who's right there, he's in Africa, right? The culture is not so much complicated, bro. The language is complicated, but the culture is not something like you have to, be a rocket scientist to understand our culture. It's diversified and from different part of Africa. But when he spoke about our government and needing the diaspora people from America to help us at the foot of the table to negotiate this deal, yes, we need that. If the host can admit that, or he can add he one or two to that, he will say the same thing. Our government they don't know how to bargain with Western leaders. They don't know it. They think that they're supposed to compromise, or they're supposed to, just be at the feet of the table to accept any deal. So you people understand, you live with a white man for the rest of your life. You know how he deal with things. You know how he operate. You can teach us. We learn from each other. It's not overtaking our government. It's not. It's part of you. You are African. If you want to be part of the culture, you're already in the culture and you're part of the culture. So it's not you coming to overtake it. Oh, you don't know our. No, we all doing it for the good of our children, for the good of our future leader. That's why we are doing it. So I appreciate the first brother, and I think that would be a good step to take, looking at the future for Africa.
I had a couple of questions real quick, Giannis.
Can I just ask the guy one question? What's the Williams
Hello.
thing? The Williams, if I could, I'm just
Yes.
Williams, because that's like the most common Black American last name. I'm just curious.
Well, Liberia was settled by
Liberia.
returning from
Oh,
America.
he's Liberian. Oh,
Yeah.
it's Williams in
Liberia.
Liberia?
Yeah. No,
last name.
I'm in the US right now, but Liberia is like I
Black
mean,
Black
yeah,
Americans who settled
dominant,
Liberia.
yeah, settled there. So
No,
that's
I
not
remember
the issue.
some. I mean, I know some of them. Some of them went to Liberia. Oh, that's where the last name Williams come from.
A lot of
No,
them,
no,
not
no,
some,
no,
a
no,
lot.
no, no. Again, Black Americans fresh off the plantation who wanted
Yeah.
to take their destiny in their own hands went
So
back
where
to
they went.
Liberia.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I know that. I'm saying, is that where, like, is it Williams? People with the last name Williams walking around Liberia?
Yes, because Black Americans fresh
that.
off the plantation.
Oh,
Again,
yeah.
Black Americans fresh off the
Okay,
plantation.
I learned something. I just learned something. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Let me pass it to Chrissy. Chrissy had a question. I'll pass it to you, Skylar. Go ahead, Chrissy.
Oh yeah. I wanted to say what I think his name is Vovo was saying as far as like having the minerals. I don't know what the policy is right now, and that's why I talked about like reading these briefs and like knowing policy. It really would help many people understand the world and how it works. I know during the Bush administration, and I haven't done an update, there was a 50% tariff on African nations if they wanted to produce finished mineral goods. See, what we have to understand is, and that wipes out your profit. White people, white nations, the United States, I'm sorry to say it's white nation, they're running things. France, the UK, Germany, these folks, these former colonizers run the global market. They set the price. Their multinational corporations are the ones that implant themselves in different countries. They create policy based on international policy that benefit their countries and benefit their multinational corporations. Aliko Dangote, who is a billionaire and the wealthiest Black man on the planet from Nigeria, had a plan to alleviate Nigeria from its energy crisis by tapping into its own oil under the ground, right? And of course, you have to bring that oil, refined oil to the global market. There were the entire community in that sector got together, and instead of there's a particular price, and I don't remember what the percentage was. Let's say the percentage is generally 1%. They wanted to charge him for the finished good 6%, and they got together as a gang. All of the heads in that sector to charge him 6% on what he was trying to do, right? As far as like tapping and providing that refined resource. That would wipe out his profit. So that actually sabotaged the plan that the energy, kind of sustainability project that he had for Nigeria. I know he's moved on to some other plan and he's hoping that will come. That has never been done. The most that they've ever charged nations was 1.6. They wanted to charge Nigeria 6%. So we also have to, that's what I'm saying, understanding policy. You could just say, hey, you got the minerals, get some machines and tap it. That sounds great. But we also have to know who is running things, right? And then when you have a product, when you have a finished product, you got to sell it on the market. Now, if we had a different mindset as African nations, then you could say, hey, well, to hell with out there, Nigeria could sell it to South Africa. South Africa could sell it to Burkina Faso and X, Y, and Z. That kind of leadership, unfortunately, is very scarce on the continent. Most leaders they're afraid. They're afraid of assassination. They're afraid of the Gaddafi effect. They're afraid of the Lumumba effect. They're terrified, right? So you have very few leaders who are willing to come out and work together in that way. So because of that, the Black man has to go to the international market that is run by whites. They set the price, they set the rules, and they change the rules to benefit them. So we find ourselves in this situation.
All right, go ahead, Skylar, with your
Skylar,
question.
I had a cool question to the South African guy and the Liberian guy. To the South African guy first. What's Johannesburg like? I heard because the massive all the immigration coming around Johannesburg, it's really like it affecting the city pretty much. I want to know what Johannesburg's like, and also with the Liberian guy. What happened with that fire at the Capitol in Monrovia? Like somebody set a fire at the Capitol in Monrovia. So if both of you guys can answer that question, I appreciate it.
Yes, the Liberia thing, the fire on the Capitol building. Um, I think the government said it was some electrical fault, and they don't want to accuse anybody. They say it was some electrical fault, which of course, I mean, I can't say anything other than the report they gave us. But we were just saddened to see how, people can stood low to destroy the Capitol just because of politics. But that's it. That's what they said.
All
South
right.
Africa, you there?
Yeah, and the South African
Okay.
guy.
Johannesburg. Well, like, what do you want to know exactly? Like, do you want to know what the city's like, or what? About
Yeah,
the
I heard
immigration?
the immigration, the effect on Johannesburg. I guess some areas got worse. I guess there's a huge pipe burst or something like that. Some buildings buildings being captured. I just want to what's your thought on Johannesburg? Pretty much how
Okay,
it's been over the years. Pretty much.
The inner city of Johannesburg. Well, thanks to the ANC's bad governance, has literally just decayed over the years. So it's just not the nicest part to live in Johannesburg. So mostly everything in Johannesburg is in the north of the city, not in the inner city. So they've built up north, like the Sandton and so on and so forth, Rosebank, further away from the inner city. So the inner city is decayed drastically. It's really badly run, especially by the current government. They just messed it up completely. Like for most of my life, it hasn't been a good place to live. It's just terrible, abandoned buildings, decay. A lot of the businesses left. Well, there is some rejuvenation projects like Maboneng Precinct, like other CIDs. So here and there, but most of the inner city is just horrible. It's not a place to I don't know anybody that's rushing to go to the inner city. Like for as long as I can remember, there's very few places that are nice. Even the part that was relatively good, like the Maboneng precinct that I mentioned, it's also starting to decay. They just don't seem to be able to have a hand on the inner city. But even the people that took over after the ANC haven't done really well with it. So it's gonna take a while for Johannesburg to reclaim its old glory, especially the inner city. It's just not a good place to live. I wouldn't be rushing there.
I heard Herman Mashaba was good for Johannesburg. Was that true? Herman Mashaba?
Yeah, he was good. He was good, but something like Johannesburg. Remember, Johannesburg is a very large, spread out city. So having a few spots here and there, but with him overall, he was good. It needs someone like him to take over, but for a long time. It needs because a lot of the damage that's been done by the ANC is going to take a long time to undo. And I think the only thing that could save it right now is gentrification. So that's the only way it can be saved. So yeah.
Okay, anyone else want to ask questions?
Let me bring on We Winning. Go ahead, We Winning. Unmute yourself. We Winning. You gotta unmute yourself. Okay. All right. Anybody want to add anything? No. Okay. Links in the chat room. Links in the chat room. We Winning. You there?
Hello. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So when it comes to situations at hand, if we're gonna do anything in the continent, we need our situations of manufacturing, warehousing, and logistics. I have talked to a couple of brothers that went to Kenya and found a scenario of opportunity in Mombasa Beach, Mombasa Port Action. But the main thing is, if we're gonna go, we have to do like the other brother said. Don't get involved in their politics. Don't get involved. We don't understand. We're coming into a 4-hour Godfather movie at the last second, thinking that we're gonna be able to dictate certain things. Come on, man. Like, I believe in the business investment, but do not think that you're gonna get involved, because everybody that's a nationalist is gonna look at it and say, see, now they're butting in on our shit, where it's gonna create even more unnecessary tension. Because mind you, got people in the continent that love to see brothers come in with their more more global of the diaspora. And you got people that are straight up nationalists where they say, nah, you're gonna have to show me. So when it comes to the situation at hand, I believe that there's opportunities in manufacturing, warehousing, logistics. We got a lot of brothers that do very good, very good in the United States when it comes to the oil fields in Texas, situation of the Dakotas, Alaska, North Carolina. Shout out to my brothers in the South. I'm a West Coast brother. But when it comes to situations, and I keep saying situations because everything is a situation, as you can see, things moving very rapidly. We got to develop our business acumen, leverage AI tools, and figure out what are the customs, how can we be able to lobby and network, and then we could be able to provide jobs and be able to benefit from opportunities. Like Nigeria is going to be a population of 1.3 billion people in the next 20 years. I keep saying this. The real estate boom is going to be very, very abundant. People,
Yeah, but,
let me finish, because y'all can kill me later. But let me just say this. When
no,
it
it's not
comes,
killing you, man.
let me finish. When it comes to the opportunities of what can be done, having Donald Trump say, man, nah, the Clinton administration that allowed all this globalism shit is done. The Bill Gates of the world, this is done. We're not going to fund this shit. We're going to cut every single department and hatch everything, where literally the financing now is literally intercontinentally colonizing the continent will be gone. Aliko Dangote can finally breathe a little bit, because a lot of these globalists from Europe was saying that, nah, the refinery, nah, we got to cut this. We got to turn his TV off. So now I see a lot of people see the aspect of, okay, we was over reliant. Now we got to build our own shit. And you got to build our own shit based off of government actually playing alongside with the private entities that are in these countries and nations. That is only how this shit can work. Capitalism running alongside with government officials, running alongside with government needs, the roads, the railways, the port expansions, etc. But the government has to be able to play alongside. Now, people that went to Uganda is actually more open and involved when it comes to manufacturing. Tanzania as well. So I'm for it, but we just can't be coming in there think that we can dictate and just like the other brother mentioned brilliantly, finger wagging, and do the shit that we do in America. That will definitely not work. But I yield my mic. I'm done.
Yeah, brother. I understand what you said concerning the not being part of the polity in Africa, but to thrive in any society, because socially we are all political beings. So to thrive in any society, you got to be part and parcel of the polity.
Well, I know
Not,
that. I'm
not,
just
not,
talking about the finger wave. When I mean the situation of finger wave, I'm talking about situation of you must do it like this, or we
Oh,
doing
oh,
like
no,
this
no,
over
no,
here.
no,
That's what
no.
I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Not,
No, not
not
that. It's not gonna work if
right.
we do
But
that on either side.
in
On
order
either
to
side, it's
be,
not gonna work. Go
in,
ahead. Go
in,
ahead.
Other brother said something.
in order to be a part of the politics, you got to wag fingers. That's what our politicians do. They
Yeah,
wag their
but
finger at you.
my point I'm making is this, bro. You from the diaspora, right? Coming to Africa, each African country have different policy when it comes to immigration, when it comes to like in relocating back to the continent. So you need to be in politics to advocate for yourself or for your people that when you come back to the continent, these are some leverage or some privilege you're going to have to do business and thrive in the continent. So it's not that you're gonna work fingers, say, oh, do it that way, do it that way. No, but you gotta have people on the ground advocating for the diaspora. And how do it work? We got to
Well, my
list with
thing
the
is,
government on ground. We got to
my
list with the
thing is,
local government on ground.
if it's a just system, I shouldn't have to advocate for a certain group of people. I should be advocating for the whole. Like, so the system that the people, that the natives there will put in place should be good enough. I shouldn't have to advocate for Black Americans specifically and getting the
No,
government.
but I'm not talking about Black American. I'm talking about the diaspora.
No, I'm
When
just
I say
saying. Okay.
okay,
Let me use that term then.
so the thing is, they're not doing it. That's the thing. It's not happening the way you think it's gonna happen. It's not happening that way. They're crafting these policy bit by bit and pieces. That look what happened in Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone had a policy where you can go once you do your DNA and it proved that you are from Sierra Leone, you could go there and gain your citizenship. But they found out that people were just going there, gaining the citizenship and leaving, and there was no, like development or nobody, people were not coming in, investing
It,
into the
it's it's
people of the
it's back.
country.
It's back on. It's back on.
Okay. But at least they changed it first, right? It changed at certain point, right?
Right.
So
It's just you gotta come more than once. You gotta come twice now. But
that's what
it's
I'm
back on. But it's back on.
that's yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm hosting a group in April. So
Right. That's what I'm saying, bro. So we gotta be on ground and we gotta be part of the policy. You're not gonna wave fingers, say do it that way, do it, but you gotta tell them what we want from the diaspora. What do we want? We want this privilege because we want to do business. We want this opportunity because we want to do business. This is what we want to do. So you gotta craft policy that will
Well,
help
that's
us
finger wagging.
to do
That's
this.
finger wagging. That's
Yeah.
finger wagging. But I mean, I'm kind of getting what you're saying, but I don't think that a group of Black people could go there and be like the diaspora, not to trigger you, but a group of the diaspora can go there and then just start getting in politics and be like, hey, we need this, and this, and you guys need to do this and do that. I just don't. I don't know. I know that like I'm from like Black America, like like nobody else could come to our neighborhood and be like, hey, you all need to do this, this, and this. You don't understand the culture.
Try to G check you on everything.
Huh?
No, I agree. Try to G check somebody locally. I'm from the West Coast. I can't come where you at.
Yeah, you can't really come somewhere and be like and start being like, y'all need to do it like this and do it like that. We're gonna run you out of there, and rightfully so. And again, rightfully so. You be expecting that. So my thing is this, like like I say, if they really want to do something, build a port, and we can transport stuff back and forth.
That's
That's
a lot
big,
of ports.
huh?
You already got ports. A
Well,
lot
then
of ports.
open them up. Then we'll open them up. Let's start putting some shipping containers together.
Yeah, let go the tariffs. Let go any
Yep.
tariffs or any kind of protectionist trade. Let the trade be more free and open throughout the continent.
That's right. That's right.
That's only how we can work cohesively. Because that's like if, like my state in California, we put a tariff in North Carolina or Georgia. That's or Tennessee. We done restricted a lot of stuff enter the United States when it comes
It's
to
gotta
back and
flow.
forth transport. Yeah, it's the flow.
Yeah, it's gotta flow. That's how you get that stuff done. It's gotta flow. That's the problem that Africa is actually having. Stuff is not able to flow. There's no infrastructure. So you know what I mean. In order for you to get a truckload of toilet paper across the country, is you got to go through the dirt roads and potholes and all that. It's not flowing right. That's the problem.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
because
got to flow. You need roads. You need to open
we
this shit
need
up.
train, we need roads, we need all of that.
Yeah,
Because I
there's
tell
no
you
reason why
what,
there isn't a whole road going from South Africa all the way up to Egypt. There's
Egypt,
a
yep.
one straight road cutting through, and
They
several
got
roads going north and south and going
they
east
got the
and west.
plans though. They got the plans, but you see the thing about the continent is there's walls in different region. So even though
It
there's a
can't flow
road that
then.
lead, there's a road that's supposed to lead from South Africa to Egypt. They got the plans. It's on the map. They have everything there. But then they can't continue because of the DRC. When the upper you go and there's a wall, the project cease. You understand what I'm saying?
I
Yep.
understand what you're saying.
Yeah, so that's the problem.
All right, let me
They
pass
got to
the
stop the double
Maximilian.
road.
Let me pass the
Hey,
Maximilian. Go ahead, Maximilian.
I gave that to Dinus, but I was getting off. I was putting my clothes on. I got to go somewhere, but I didn't want to put Dinus because he's the host. He understood what I was saying, but let me explain it myself. I'm not saying that first thing, let me tell you who I am. I run the largest Southeast oil company in the Southeast. Dinus knows what I do. I'm a CEO. I run a company. I own a company. I have about 140 trucks, and I refine oil and I do chemical spills. I'm that guy. So let's
Salute
get
to you,
back to
big
what,
homie.
but with Dinus, Dinus already knows this. But let's get back to what I was saying. I'm not saying we go into Africa to tell the president what to do. He's the president of the country. We don't tell the president what to do, but we need to, if he needs some advice, hey, what do you think about what this white man really means? The president ain't lived in America for 400 years. His great grandparents ain't lived for 400. I'm not trying to tell them people what to do. I am those people. Why do you think I look like them? I am just as Nigerian as they are. I just got kidnapped. I love my home. America's not my home. This is where I was brought to. So you damn right I got something to say when I come home, but I don't have to. I'm not going to tell the president what to do, but I'm going to tell the president he might be trying to run a little trick on you right here. He wants you to take the aid so he can keep on getting your minerals. So he wants you to beg for the aid, but he's never intended on taking your minerals. You have to understand, brother, there is a value to having African Americans at the table.
Can I say this to you, brother?
Go ahead.
Think that they don't already know that these people not dumb?
No, they don't know it. You'll be surprised they don't know it, bro.
If they
I'm telling
knew it,
you,
they
they
wouldn't be
don't
in
know
the position.
it.
If they
They
knew it,
don't.
they wouldn't be in the position they're in.
I'm telling you.
They do know it, bro.
No,
No,
they
they
don't.
don't know.
No, they don't,
You
bro.
have to
From
you.
Africa,
Yo,
I'm telling you,
calm down,
they don't.
y'all.
Oh, I'm
Y'all
sorry.
some
Yeah.
brilliant brothers, man.
I'll just wait
Yeah,
until it's my
y'all
turn.
They
brilliant
don't.
brothers, man.
I'm gonna write it down.
Y'all
Hey,
brilliant
Dinus, but
brothers.
I don't know
You'll
the
be
young man, but
surprised. You'll
let
be
me get
surprised. Some president how dumb they are. Don't mind the guys in suits. Some of them are dumb like hell.
the
I'm
young
telling
man
you
from
something
Liberia.
serious.
The young man from Liberia. He knows what I'm talking about.
I understand you,
Because
brother.
you have to. It's almost like you telling me, and Dinus, I speak a certain way. I'm not yelling at y'all. This is the way I speak. I'm passionate when I speak. It's almost like you telling me I know my first cousin. You know my first cousin better than me. I've dealt with this man for 400 years. My whole life, my grandfolks and everybody else has dealt with this man. These African presidents have not dealt with him. And they've been playing them for ever since we had chains on us, they've been playing them too. When you get two minds together, he said, okay, now I'm going to explain y'all about the culture of Africa. Let me tell you about the language, how we going to do this and how we do things. Yes, I'm going to learn. That's why I'm coming home. I don't know everything about Africa. I'm trying to tell him what this white man is going to do.
Mm-hmm.
When you get two people
That's it right
working for
there.
the same cause, you
Mm-hmm.
can't do nothing but win.
When?
I'm not saying I'm finna go. You think I would actually walk up to the South African president, the president of that country, Nigeria, Ghana, and tell him what to do? Who the hell am I? But what I can tell him is what these Americans gonna do, because I am somebody over here. I'm not some random dude that came to Ghana with $150,000, with $150 in his pocket. I'm a millionaire here. I play the game here. So when I go home, I want to be of a value to you. I don't miss that. I want to leave here. I made a lot of money here, but this is not my spot. My home is my spot. And I made enough money to move home and make a difference. And most of the people that's living there now are not making a difference. You got Dinus, you got O'Shea. You ain't got many people that's coming home with some real money. If you want some people with some real money, you need to open up and listen to us. Because some of these guys that come with these big businesses, they want to be heard. I'm heard here, you're going to hear me there, or I'm going to stay here. but I want to come there. But you don't sit there and say that I don't have an opinion. Now, if anybody want to get back at me before I get off and Dinah, I'm sorry for
No,
raising my voice.
it's all good. Let me pass the Raphael. Oh, Vovo Rants. I'm gonna pass the Raphael. Go ahead, Vovo Rants.
Hey, Prince Dynast, thank you for welcoming
No,
to
no,
your
no, no, no.
channel.
Let me pass the Vovo Rants first, so then I'll pass it to you, Raphael. Go ahead, Vovo Rants.
Okay.
My thing is this: to say that these people don't know what's going on, you doing them a disservice. These are not dumb people. These are presidents. These are people that run countries. It might not be ran well, but these people are responsible for millions of people. These are not idiots. A lot of those guys are college educated. They've been educated in the West. Yes, they are. A lot of these guys are smart people.
I'm shaking my head. You never heard me call anybody an idiot. I don't use that terminology.
Well, I mean, to say like you would have to be an idiot to not understand that you're not getting your true value for your stuff.
Not necessarily.
You would have to. I'm calling you an idiot if you can't.
Oh, come on, brother. Go easy. Go easy.
No, if you don't understand, you're not getting true value for your stuff, the stuff that the world needs. If you don't understand that, then you're an idiot. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry.
Brother, listen, you have to understand.
Whether you like that term or not, medicine don't taste good. That's just what it is.
So you think it's not what you just said? You think it's not happening in Africa? It's happening in Africa. What you just said. There are a lot of African countries who trading their resources for less than nothing. So it's happening. It's happening.
Brother,
come on,
brother. It is by design.
Seconds. I know y'all mic hot. I know y'all want to speak. I know what I'm saying is triggering. I get it. But
no, we don't disagree with you. The point you're making. What the point we're trying to make is that it is by design. It is by design that we've got some of these idiots in power. It is by design, brother.
Well,
you think they want people? You think they want people?
What I'm saying.
You don't understand the thing. All the men have there for.
That's a different conversation.
Hey, let me pass the mic to Raphael. Go ahead, Raphael. Raphael, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was about to say I disagreed a little bit with Maximilian. When Europeans are coming to Africa, they dictate everything when it comes to policies. I mean, recently USAID gave millions of dollars to certain African countries to basically dictate what's going on in the country. So why can't African Americans not do the same? Why can't they have an opinion about the things that are going in certain countries?
Maximilian,
is that a question for me?
No, I wanted to add some.
Who that question directed to?
Go ahead.
Yeah,
because I'm not going to speak until Dinah tells me to say something.
That was my point. That was my point. Like, why can't we from the diaspora, who are not directly descendants of the people from the continent, why can't we have an opinion on things that are going on in Africa when it comes to leadership?
But that's the point I was making. So it got to happen, but it happened gradually. You got to work your way up. And you understand what I'm saying? So if you're going to be part of a society, you got to be part of the politics of that society. You can't say, oh, we're just going to live there and not be part of it. You got to be part of the politics because the politics will keep you to live free and fair as a free citizen of that land.
Yeah. And Maximilian, Maxi, hey,
yes.
You come to Ghana, brother. We need you. Come to Ghana, bro.
Actually, I'll be
come
there.
To Ghana. Have you been to Africa?
Knows. I'm coming. Right,
good. Have you been to Africa?
I've been to Sierra Leone one time. That was a long time.
Okay.
I was like 18.
Oh, I see.
The white man took my passport. I just got it back.
Yeah. I see. Listen, just get on the ground in Africa.
Dennis knows the story about
that. Good. All right.
See, Maximilian seems like he's the most equipped to be in the continent due to the fact that he's an oil-based company. He has a situation where he has a proof of concept. He has made sales. Like I said, Maximilian, you're a brilliant brother. You know, I'll give you your flowers right now.
So what I want to let Dennis finish. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry, Dennis.
Now, really quickly, Maximilian has the ability to be able to move a lot of stuff where he has a lot of pull. That's why we need more black men that's in the United States, that's in the Caribbean, that's in the UK to build up their business acumen so they have something to bring. Where everything is mutual. skills transfer, skills based
Yep.
scenarios of we can bring some opportunities where Brother Maximilian, he could probably supply 2,500 jobs in the local
Easy.
area, 5,500
Easy.
jobs.
I can bring
Very easy.
100. I can bring 100 trucks there tomorrow.
Yes.
if I needed to.
Whoa. Listen, you
See,
got
that-
We're
look
not-
at
we
that
talking
right
about tank.
there,
We
man.
talking about tanker trucks.
Look at God. Look at God. See, look at God. See, job creator.
And
Go
Dynas
ahead,
knows
sir.
this. The only reason I didn't bring it, Dynas knows me very well. We're friends. They chose not to let me go. The
They
IRS
wouldn't
said,
want
no,
you to go.
you can't go nowhere. See, they kept me here for 5 years.
Damn.
All of a sudden, I got a bill with the IRS. Your passport is canceled.
Okay.
That should let you know.
I had to go to court and fight with these people to get
Fight
my
for that.
passport. It's certain Negroes they don't want to leave.
Of course.
They say you too valuable. Nah, keep on
No,
running
this
that
is
damn
right here.
oil here. Keep doing this shit domestically
Yeah,
over here.
right over here.
Get your ass
That's
back.
right.
Yeah.
Listen,
Let me pass the mic to Titi because Titi's been writing. Go ahead, Titi.
Hi, Dennis. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. How y'all doing? I
Hey,
was
sister.
trying to recruit Max. Okay, that's what I was trying to do. I just want to come up here like Max. You coming to Nigeria? I'm sorry, Ghana. Come to
Hey, come to Ghana, bro. Ghana got you, bro. We got you.
No, I told Dynas this, and Dynas said I am 48% Nigerian. and all the friends that I have out here that move with me to help me move, I'm gonna be honest, they're from Nigeria.
Hey, bro, listen.
Nigeria. Me, I have the connections. I'm surrounded. Come. I was even.
I'm coming everywhere. I'm like Dynas
It's free
always
trade
told
in
me.
Africa. You can be anywhere. Just get on the continent, start working, bro.
My thing is just come see the continent, man, and see it.
Okay.
And Dynas has been knowing me. This ain't
Mhm.
something I didn't just get into this. Dynas has been knowing me Dynas like 8 years now.
Okay.
So me and
Whatever
Dynas go
you
way
need.
back.
Just hold on to that passport so you can travel. Just
Well, yeah,
you know why the hell you don't let just whatever happened, don't let them get hold of that passport again. Just go with Dynas, get yourself a West African passport.
Wherever
as
you
well.
see Dynas, me and Dynas gonna eat dinner tomorrow. We know me and Dynas live in the same city. We talk a lot.
Yeah.
Off the line, on the line. I'll see Dynas tomorrow. We eat dinner.
That's beautiful,
He knows
brother.
I'm passionate. He knows I'm passionate about coming back there.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, brother. That is beautiful.
Yeah.
That's
That's what we wanna
beautiful.
hear.
That's beautiful, man. Because Dangote refinery, they're gonna need some linchpin businesses. Like I say, anything in logistics, he's gonna need support and help.
Need that. We
That's
got
where,
two big refineries coming on board in Ghana as well. Two oil city.
your
So
freight
what
forwarders.
I was saying is, I'm not coming over there. I'm not.
Petroleum City, right?
Nigeria, we're gonna hook you up. I'm gonna set you up with a big man because they need.
Well, that's what Mike's girlfriend. My ex-girlfriend. We dated for like 11 years. She's from Nigeria, and we're still
I'm
friends.
not worried. Max,
She moved back to Nigeria. That's the reason we quit dating.
Max, talk to me. I'm talking business. Let's forget everything else, okay?
How you?
On the
Are you a Rubu?
I'm a Yoruba. Yes, I'm a Yoruba person.
That's where I'm from.
You
Well,
know, you're talking to the real deal, right? Okay.
Yeah, well, I did my DNA. That's the area I'm from.
Yoruba.
So perfect.
Yoruba. Yeah. I've never been Nigeria.
Come to Nigeria. When you come into Nigeria, I'm gonna see if I can share my detail with Dennis. Look, I'm not even worried about. I'm gonna share.
That's why Dynas is in Nigeria because the thing about me, I'm a nasty businessman, and the only people I know just as nasty as me is my Nigerian brothers. And I got nothing against Ghana, but I don't have to go to Nigeria.
What I'm trying. Let me tell you what I'm
Hey,
trying to do.
brother.
Max,
You hit the ground, you know.
Brother, I'm going to tell you. I'm trying to get you. Let me tell you what I'm trying to get you into. I'm trying to get you into the mining since you're already in the oil. So you know more about the mining. You know about the oil. I'm not even going to go too much into the oil because those are cabals. But also, I'm trying to get you into the liquid side of it too. Don't worry. I'm just going to say it like that. We're not going to talk too much. So
I do it all. I know exactly what you're talking about too. That's a very lucrative business. I could probably show them a little easier. I can show them an easier way to do that.
Exactly. And then
I know exactly what you're talking about.
The oil part.
We're not gonna go into, but I know what you're talking about, sister. Just leave
you know
it
what
there.
I'm talking about. Thank you.
I know what you're talking about.
The oil part, we're gonna work our way to get to that because that is a whole.
I need to get on. I need to get on that boat and go down that little river and talk to them young men.
Okay.
If I can just say, this is the difference between the previous generation and this generation. We can get on a plane and just go to Africa. Let's do this now. Let's start doing it. Yeah, we talk. I remember when I first worked Diners, he came on, went to the Dogon, up to today, action. You understand? Eventually, people like you come on board, action. Once you get hit down on the ground, you're gonna do business. You're gonna do business.
I
So,
always do.
you
But
know,
this is my thing, and Diners, I think everybody's got a question, but it's never that I was gonna try to tell the president what to do.
no, but
I
eventually you can.
respect it.
Listen, brother, if you're a businessman, eventually you're gonna be
You
influential to
fuka.
do that.
You put me in a Ruka. You.
As a businessman, I respect the vote of the people. But I'm always get a president my opinion.
Leave that one there. Go to the
Yes,
room.
yes.
Now put me in the room.
Will
Now go
I
clean it.
get
Okay.
involved in politics when it's not something good not happening? When Americans are moving there and not getting citizenship, yeah, I got a problem with that.
Yeah, thank you. Well, that's what happens when you're
Put
a
the light
businessman.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, they listen to business people because you're the one who's paying the politicians and paying the taxes. They need you to run the country.
Job creator, economic
Yeah.
development.
So,
Thank
but I'm
you.
not telling the president what to do. He's the president. Any country I go to, I respect the laws of that country, just like I respect it here. That's how I made it here.
All right.
I'm Diners, to tell you the first person I'm gonna tell you, America's
All
a
right.
bad country, but it ain't that damn bad. I
No
made
problem.
a lot of money here.
Go and visit Nigeria and then move to Ghana, brother.
I don't want to be here because I don't want to
Go
be
and
here
visit
because I'm
Nigeria
not.
and then move right back to Ghana, bro.
You will go Nigeria and never go. You never go back. Go Nigeria and never go back.
Well, the thing about me,
China cannot come back.
the thing about me,
China's
Africa.
money. It never, it goes everywhere, but we end up. We will come to Nigeria. Who will come to Nigeria?
I love all my people. The first country I'm going to, I'm gonna go with Diners. I think me and Diners were Sierra Leone Diners.
I'm waiting on you, Maximilian. I'm going in April. If you want to, I'm waiting on you.
I'm gonna be with Diners. Wherever Diners go, that's where I'm gonna go.
All right. Well, that means you're not coming to Ghana.
We'll get there. Yeah, but with Diners, wherever he's gonna go the next trip, because I just got my paperwork from these people, so I'm gonna roll with Diners for a minute, so he can put me around.
Go in December. Go with Diners in December.
No, I think we're going a couple of months, right, Diners?
So for sure, come to Nigeria in August, Maximilian.
So where we going next? The first trip.
Come to Nigeria in August.
Okay, I'll do that. Because me and Diners we'll talk, but I need to see where I'm not that holy of the grill guy. I'm not all that.
I wish you will come. I wish you will come in actually Ileya or December.
Well, the reason I want to come to Nigeria because that's where most of my DNA is from. Like I'm 48% Nigerian, and what is the Congo right below it? Look at it.
Cameroon next door, and then I think you go to Congo also underneath that.
It's the country right below Nigeria.
Yeah, I think the next one is Cameroon after Nigeria.
Cameroon. I'm Cameroonian. I'm 15% Cameroonian, which is Nigeria.
Okay. Yeah.
And the rest is Europeans.
A Cameroonian is just a French, a Nigerian with a French accent. That's it.
Yeah, before they broke them all up. Yeah, but that's the area I'm from.
Those are French Nigerian.
This curly hair.
Nigerian with a French accent.
This curly hair is just white folks. But my blood is from Nigeria. So I'm definitely going there. Because all my friends, the business guys I do business with, that's where they're from.
Yeah. You will make more money in Africa than you're going to make in America. I'm telling you. You get it up and running.
I'm not even about money. I'm not even about money no more. I'm 54.
You want to be your people.
I got enough money. I just want to chill, but I want to put somebody else onto it. It's not about money with me anymore.
Of course.
You get a certain amount of money, you're good.
Yeah.
I'm good anywhere I go to. But I want to put what I've learned and send some guys back here, some younger guys, come in and do what I do.
Let them do that. Yeah.
Come back here and do that. And then move back at home when they're 40 and bring some of that money back. Everybody ain't got to stay in Africa. Some of them young boys need to learn from me and take their asses to America to do what I do.
But you're putting yourself
in position.
But you're putting yourself in great position for the population boom in the next 15 to 20 years. See,
when it
comes to my angle about Nigeria, I like Edo State. I like the situation where how the governor has literally doubled the GDP in the past 6 years. And
what state is that? What state?
Edo State.
Edo?
Oh, Edo.
Oh, sorry. My apologies. Edo State. Brought it. Edo.
Anybody else got a question for me? Because Diners, y'all can email Diners if y'all want to reach out to me. Sister, my Nigerian sister, I love you. I heard you. My brother from Ghana, I heard you too. Especially my brother from My brother from Liberia, I love you, brother. I understand. We did some bad shit, and I need to get over there and try to help correct that too, because we started a lot of stuff.
Well, brother
that happened in
Maximilian, I
Liberia.
wish nothing but the best for your endeavors. I wish nothing but Godspeed, give you the health, the wealth, the prosperity,
Get on it.
the
Get
acumen,
down to the ground.
and the teams to be able to do what you're gonna do in the ground, my man.
I love
So,
y'all, man. Hey, Donnie,
appreciate
love
you,
y'all,
man.
man. And I want to clear that up, that I didn't mean to insult, that I was trying to take over the country. That's not what I meant.
We understand the frustration, brother.
We
Listen,
understand, brother.
we're all
We gotta
frustrated
fight.
with the
Yeah,
leadership that we
we
got.
all frustrated. We gotta fight to get
Yeah,
back together. That's
that's
it.
it. You know,
I just try. I
Nobody
try not
will
to.
have a
I
bad
have no
intention.
problem. I don't even know the leadership. Only thing I can do is been business there.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all vote for who the president is, and then when
Mm-hmm.
we get citizenship, then we can say something. But right now,
Yeah.
we have a say, but we don't get in there saying who the president should be.
It will happen. I'm
But
telling you soon, you're gonna start seeing members of parliament who are from America, black Americans. You're gonna see it soon. My country will produce the
Yeah,
first one. I know that.
but
You're gonna see that.
what we're demanding, and which Dynas is kind of neutral on it. But if we're gonna come there, we need citizenship.
You get that.
We don't
I don't know
need
about the
freedom.
other countries, but you get it. You get it, Sierra Leone, Ghana,
And it's another
Senegal.
problem I have with Ghana. This is the problem I have with Ghana.
Go ahead.
I own my land in Mississippi and Georgia and Texas.
Mm-hmm.
I own that land forever.
Yeah.
Why would I work my ass off to buy 500 acres of land that only belongs to me for 100 years?
You renew it.
Bro,
No, I don't
but
have to.
Right.
In
I'll tell you
America,
why.
when I
I'll
own it, I
answer you.
own it.
Yeah, I understand.
bro. I would
Americans,
disagree. I would
yeah,
disagree on that aspect. Because the thing is, the land they only have that policy, right? But how many years we can live for? Before
right.
the
Okay,
100 year,
I'll explain.
before the 100 year elapsed, you'll be able to renew it. As the brother said, you can renew it. That's just their
Right.
policy. You can renew
Right.
it
Hear me
for
out.
another 100.
Well, let me explain it to you. Now, I'm not talking about America, but let me tell you this. With time and legacy becomes wealth. White people got their land in 1887.
Okay.
From their great granddaddy and their great granddaddy and their great grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm a great man, why should my children not get the benefits of what I've done?
Very
as
good.
a black man?
Right.
If I went over to Ghana and I spent $300,000 to buy $1 million to buy some land, why should my children, grandchildren be able to come to that land?
They should. They will be able to come to that land. It's what I tell you what it is. It's
you don't renew what you bought.
Right. Hear me out, brother. A leasehold is something very new to Americans, so they often have a problem grappling it. You have to understand the reason why we had a leasehold. During independence, okay, there was a short time when they were doing the Marshall Plan for for Europe that we had to, in order to get the country together before Britain strengthened itself and went back and took back the colonies.
I get.
So what happened was, in fact, I heard that it was Chairman Mao of China that actually advised Nkrumah to do this. You know why? The power was in the hands of the Europeans. They didn't want them coming back and buying land. 40% of the land in Ghana is gold. They didn't want them turning around.
They'll re-own it again. They'll buy you back out.
Look, right. They didn't want them turning around and coming to buy the land freehold. So he put a lease for everybody.
And for that camera.
Right. So that way,
for the
if one part of the country,
we want inside.
Right. If one part of the country is doing well, right, we want to mix within each other. So if you're from the northern area, we don't want people who got money here just going around buying the land cheap and this and that. So if you have a leasehold, the people who own the land can always renegotiate after 50 years and 99 years. That's the reason for it. It makes perfect sense for us.
Well, let me tell you why it doesn't make perfect sense for an African American. Because we didn't have the option to buy land. Remember, we got sold.
Yeah, but our situation is different. Don't forget.
No, your situation is just like mine.
Yeah.
You're no more African than I am.
I hear you, bro. That's not a question. The question is,
I get the freehold, but when an African American comes back or African British come back, and we want to buy land, our land should be our land. Because that's what it's like when I'm gonna give you an example I tell Dynas all the time. It's like if your mother had 3 boys, right? One got kidnapped by a white man, you never saw him again.
Yeah.
So he comes back home, y'all got 50 acres of land, everybody's house is good.
Yeah.
But he comes home, well, you gotta rent yours. Me and my brother, when you done, it's gonna go back to me and my brother.
All right.
Is that your
Okay.
brother?
Right.
Is that really
Hear
your
me out.
brother?
Right. Hear me out, brother. Take the same scenario. Imagine if one of your brothers is a drunkard, right? He's
Okay.
on crack.
Okay. Now who's the
He gets
drunkard?
pissed one
Tell me
day,
who's the
and
drunkard
then
is.
he sells that land to some white man, and you can't
Okay.
get it back right next
Right.
to you. But if you got a leasehold, yeah, you understand now. I hear where
You
you're
under-
coming from.
You
But if you
understand
look
in
at it,
America, we don't have leaseholds. When a black man buys land in America, Dinus, please check in anytime you want to. When you buy land in America, that's your land forever.
I get you.
If the
Forever,
white,
or if you don't pay the taxes, they're going to take it from you, right?
well, brother, everybody gonna pay taxes on their land. That's
Yeah, but
that's a small
default.
part.
People default with taxes. So
Well, the point is, I have the option to default,
Mm-hmm.
and it's an old saying: I'd rather deal with the devil I know than the one that I
No,
don't.
that yeah.
Now, come on now. Let me finish, and I didn't say much. If the white man will let me own my land here in America, why the hell can I come home and my own people won't let me own my own land?
no, but
Because the land don't even belong to the white man anyway.
that's a misconstrue because you own the land. It's just that you
For
have to
100
renew
years.
it. It's
Yeah,
not.
you just renew it. You just renew it. That's all.
Hey, Dinus,
Right?
Dinus, where's Dinus? I want Dinus to say
100 years. You
I'm
know
here.
what 100 years is, bro?
How
It's
long do you
50 years
own your
for
land in America, Dinus?
If you 50 and you bought a land for 100
Yeah.
years,
Don't sell it.
Dinus, how long? Dinus Amir, how long do you own your
I'm just
land in
saying
America?
it's yours as long as you pay the taxes or you don't sell it.
Forever. We ain't got to go renew nothing. When I give you $300,000, if you I sold you a car.
Brother,
Come
the
on, man, stop
land,
playing that.
the land.
so these are some of the policies that we need to accept now
Yeah.
because you see
Yes. We can discuss. We can always change the constitution.
we can't bring what America do to Africa.
Well, let
These
me
are
tell
some of the
you,
way where
if you're
so
gonna deal with
happy
African
America,
Americans,
what happy. I understand, but you should understand too that you're going somewhere though.
Yeah.
The people have policy. The way you going, hold on, bro.
You want our millions of dollars, right? You want our money.
It doesn't matter.
No,
It doesn't
brother,
matter.
listen, no.
The point is where you are going. They have policy. So you got to abide by the rules of the land.
Or the land.
So if the rules of the land say purchase the land after 100 years, come and renew it, that's it.
You can do
Because
it.
that comparison to America, they say, oh, because the American man made me pay my tax and the land will me forever, so you should do the same thing. No, it's not going to work that way,
You
bro.
understand?
Okay,
The way
That's just
we
reality.
look at it. Yeah, the way we look at it in Ghana is that the land, we always say the land of the country is belongs to the children not yet born. That's basically a rule in our law. So we don't want any particular individual hogging it. Two, we had tribalism before.
But you can own land, right? You can own land, right?
I know you can lease a land. I've got a
I
leasehold
thought
99
the
years.
family land, like the family land, they can sell it to you.
Yeah, you can lease it. It's not, they don't sell it to you in perpetuity.
If you're
But they
Ghanaian, you
still
own your
own
land.
it though, right? The tribe still owns it, right?
Yeah, the chieftains
There you go.
keep the land in custodian for the people who originally were on that land.
How long does he own it?
Oh, that one is in perpetuity.
Definite.
Forever, right?
Yeah. But even him is not his personal thing. He's a custodian of it. And then you have the government as well. So if the government needs the land, he will lease it in conjunction with the chieftain of that place for a certain time. Now you can change that. The chieftain at the moment, they could say, okay, you chiefs are causing too much trouble. We're going to get rid of that. But that will cause another problem because someone needs to keep an eye on the government in case the government becomes dictatorial and so on.
Well, I hope somebody from the government is listening. That's not the way we do business.
Oh, brother, that's where your contention will be. See now,
that's the point right there.
When I pay you money, pay you money for a product that is my product.
Yeah, right. It works a bit different with land.
And my grandchildren.
It works different with land.
Imagine
I sell you that
you're
land.
talking about Ghana though. When you cross the border from Ghana, the policy in Togo is different.
It's different.
The policy in Nigeria is different. You understand? So maybe in Nigeria you can get a land. You don't have to renew it after 100 years. That's how it is. So Africa is so like you're just speaking about the country. But when you go to Liberia, it's different in Liberia. The land policy in Liberia is different. So Ghana, you have a different land policy. Even Nigeria, I don't think Nigeria have that leasehold. No,
they're having their thing buy.
I think Ghana has like the worst land policies because there are a lot of scams over there. A lot of people who are trying to buy land.
That, brother.
It's the truth. It's the truth about Ghana.
Listen, my friend, listen. Listen, if you go through the back street trying to get land cheap, you get scammed. That's your problem. There's
He
loads of
said the
people
back
buying
street.
No,
land without doing due
that's
diligence.
that's the
Brother,
issue right now. I mean, it's not about if you're doing it in the back street.
I tell
Like
you why.
it's the issue right now.
Right, it's going to be very minimum an issue in the next couple of years. Okay, we've just got a
Let
new
me say it this way.
building for land reform because it was a big problem, especially our brothers and sisters coming back from America. A lot of us, like I've been here for now 40 years. I came here when I was 10, going back doing so where the government been sleeping now, they got to up the ante. The last president gets left, just built a new building for the land reform. We got everything computerized, so in time to come.
Yeah.
Now when you go to land registration. I can go on the internet right
I don't
now.
want to talk over. I don't want to talk over anybody, but please let me get a word in.
Yeah.
Sometimes to understand each other, you say when you go somewhere, you have to understand the people that the country you're going to, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to understand the people who are coming there too.
Of course.
Ownership means a lot to us. My granddaddy owns the land that he has, and they stole things from us. Same way they did in South Africa. Same way they did in Liberia. We have to have ownership of what we have. We don't rent nothing.
Right. I'm glad you mentioned South Africa.
That is very. Let me finish. That is very, very personal with African Americans. I need to belong where I'm at. That means citizenship. And when I buy something, it needs to be mine.
Yeah, of course.
Because a white man has done that. Oh, you can live on the farm as long as you want to. But as soon as I get ready to tired of you, you got to get out of here.
Right. Hear me out. If South Africa had a leasehold, right? If South Africa had a leasehold, they wouldn't have this problem they got with 8% of them owning 70% of the land. That's just mad. Anyway, I don't want to go away from that. But brother, what I'm saying is that this is where when you say this is how you do business, you see, if you go up to an African man who's also been educated, okay, with his experience, okay, if you go out to them and you lay down a law like that, you put them off. They will go like this because the way they think.
I don't care about putting you off. This is business.
Brother, listen to me. Hear me out. I get you, right?
The white man from America deals with you the same way.
Brother, listen to me. You're not white. We're black talking to another black man.
But no,
okay.
But now here, this is where it's going to get complicated.
No.
Listen to me.
We're on the same page. We're on the same page.
Yes, I am black, but I was taught by Europeans. I think the way they think.
But you've got to process. That's a mistake. You've got to process it.
I want what's mine.
Right. Listen to me.
We didn't get what's ours here in America.
We understand.
We didn't get that.
Right. Listen to me. Right. There's a brother who come on here. His name is Carla Jennings. I'm sure you're familiar with Carla.
I'm not.
Carla has a dream to build a place, part of Africa called Afrikstan, so the African Americans can have their own place like they did in Liberia. I'm for that.
That didn't work out well.
No, that was Liberia. I'm talking about going forward. We need land for the blacks in Brazil who want to come back. We need land for the blacks in the Caribbean who want to come back. We need land for all those who are displaced. We got enough land in Africa to carve that out. But until that happens, the next stage
is my point. I agree with you totally.
The next stage is going to be citizenship, working, doing business in individual countries.
This is my thing. I think anybody that's from African ancestry, allow us to own what we buy. Because for generations, because I want to bring my children there, my grandchildren there.
That's what we want.
I'm not going to lease something I bought from you.
But brother, I'm a Ghanaian and I'm a lease. My ancestors were the biggest warriors on the continent. We fought the white man in the bush, but we've got to get in.
Well, I think to me personally, and Dinah's being real quiet, but I'm just my opinion. I think that we've been through a little bit more than y'all have been through.
No,
I really do.
No, brother, we hear you, but you can't say that.
When you start doing it,
when you say that one, you can't. It's not diplomatic.
Because they went through what they went through in
Ashanti's did business with Europeans.
So what we're not going to do,
even though
Ashanti's did business with the Europeans.
Look.
Ashanti what?
Okay, let me. We're not going to discount slavery and the effect it had on Africa.
No, listen to that. Someone just spoke. Sorry, brother. Who was it? Said Ashanti what?
Me, Ashantis did business with the Europeans. They sold.
So what's the problem?
You're gonna bring up another topic now.
Okay, so what's the problem?
No, it's. I'm not bringing another topic. You said that the slavery that you had it worse, but you guys did business with Europeans, and then you got crossed by the Europeans.
Man, shut your mouth, brother. Come on,
No,
African brother.
we're not going that. We're not going there because
Man,
that's
shut the
just the
hell up.
same. That the same
You see,
politics that brought the
when
division.
you're trying to progress,
What you saying?
when you're trying to
First thing,
progress
stop,
and deal with
because
problems,
I'm gonna get
What
off. First thing, now
what
let's
you
be
saying
brotherly.
right now? What
Let's
you
be
saying
brotherly.
right
Let's
now?
be
That
brotherly.
one brought the
Let's be brotherly.
division and a hit.
Yeah.
It's
The
not
division
division.
and a
It's the
hit
truth. It's the
among.
truth. I mean,
Hey,
you guys don't like.
young man. Donis ain't said nothing, but
Okay,
I'll
you're
say
right.
something.
That's the truth. We saw
We
you
can
people. That's the
disagree.
truth. We're
We can
right. So
disagree.
thank
But
you for
let's
bringing
be
that topic
respectful.
up. But we're on a different topic right now. We're not
Yeah.
talking
Let's
about
be.
who saw
Hey,
who. It's not a
excuse
topic
me,
Go
for
ahead, man.
excuse
tonight.
me, brother. Excuse me. Let's disagree, but let's be brotherly.
Yeah.
We can disagree. Let's not make personal insults toward each other because that don't even divide us. Because if all we're gonna do is yell at each other and go back and forth, we're not gonna learn nothing from each other.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm saying is the African American perspective and the Africans have their perspective. We have to have the same perspective. We're gonna do this together. So we're gonna sit and keep yelling at each other. Well, you don't deserve this, and I believe this, and I feel that way. Yeah, we're not gonna solve
No.
anything.
Yeah.
And the only person looking at it,
When we're having a good dialogue like we're having now,
we
and then
are,
someone comes
yeah.
in and throws a rock like, "Oh, I shall
Yeah,
get down because you
forget about that,
asshole."
man, bro. Let's have a different conversation. Forget about what he said.
All right.
The
Sorry
brother
about
said
that.
Yeah,
something.
that's
Yeah,
what I mean. Let's keep it
continue.
on. Let's
Go
keep
ahead.
it on the main
Right.
thing.
Matt,
Let's keep it
what
on.
I'm saying is, when you're in Africa, for instance, and you do business, and then when you speak to some of the elders, because you're gonna meet. I mean, for instance, if you was contacting with me, I'll pick up the phone. Last week, a friend of mine got hold of me. I pick up the phone. He's in Ghana right now dealing gold. I know some important people. I don't like to boast, but when you meet certain of these people and you say to them, "Well, that's not how we do business," you got to be careful because what you're doing without realizing is that you're automatically putting them down. You see, you got to make them feel good like a little kid. You got to make them lift them up a little bit, yeah. But the minute you do that,
I get you. Now I wouldn't talk to a chief in that way.
they think you're putting them down. So
going
forward,
And
I
what the
wouldn't
brother
speak to
saying
my
about the
father in
land?
that way,
What the
but
brother
that's the
saying
truth.
about
But the land and the
land?
citizenship, I hold on that.
It's going to
Yeah,
change,
no,
brother. I promise you
we
that it's going
given,
to change. It's going to change in the future, as the brother said.
Mhm.
Bet you 10 years from now, it's not going to be the same way.
Yeah.
People are going to have their own land. They're going to own it. Even
Yeah.
gaining citizenship is going to be different. I believe
Yeah.
that in a couple of years to come, they will give citizenship to people from the diaspora. Once you come and
Yep.
you can prove that you're African American or you want
and
to
you want to
identify
be
with,
with us,
they're going to
like
give you
Dinus
citizenship.
get all the
It's a
passport where
gradual
he goes to, because he's down on the ground. We could see him on the ground, and he's like an ambassador.
Yep, it's a gradual thing. It's going to change. So we all praying for the best for our people. Even
and I'm gonna say this
especially-
too, though. You know how you say you can defend the elders by saying what you gonna do, and with the rules I have about stuff.
Yeah.
When you tell an African American, I'm gonna give you citizenship, you know that's insulting to us.
Right. I hear what you're saying. The president who's in now, he was out of office from
The president of Ghana, I forgot his name. He never, you can't give somebody something that's already their bloodline right.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I was gonna say. Right. The president we got now, he was there before he's come back in.
That's the term he used it out right.
Right.
But I mean,
He said
they're going to,
That's the most insulting. Hey, I'm gonna let you. If your last name is Kagame, I'm gonna let you be a Kagame.
Now I'm thinking which one to use.
Yeah, I get you. Right, hear me out. The present government leader we got now, he was in power before Muhammad, and in one of the ceremonies, you know what the ceremonies they give, where they give you the passport and so on, he actually made a statement where he said, "I'm not giving you something from us. This is what you already got. It's yours already.
Yeah,
it's yours by right."
All you gotta do is look at our blood test, brother. I am the same as you.
Yeah, but you see, but you got to remember as well, Max. You see, you could be a Nigerian coming back to Ghana on the back door. We get. Hey, come on, we open the door.
It ain't gonna be. I could be a Nigerian. I am a Nigerian.
Right.
No,
so now we know you're a Nigerian, right?
My blood. I'm an African American Nigerian.
African.
Yeah, of course they're African.
That's what my blood. That's what my blood.
I'm trying to push him a bit, right? What I'm saying is right now, you know you're Nigerian, right? Okay, so then you coming back to Ghana give you a passport, okay, right? How do you know you Nigerians ain't trying to invade us through the back door, through the Biafra situation, and come take our... How we know that?
I'm getting all that. Come on, there, brother. See, y'all doing now you're doing politics. I don't get into politics.
I don't put it. We got to double check it.
Because the funny thing about Americans is, if you from New York or you from California, we still African Americans.
That's
Of
We
course,
right.
don't
because
we don't
the
divide
situation
ourselves
we're in.
like that.
Right. That's what's special about the African American. All our top
Yeah, you
leaders
don't
are
have
mixed
that.
We
You
don't
don't
do
African
have
that.
that
American.
trap. You don't have that
They got
trap
that.
thing.
No,
If the
no.
Yeah, they
trap
got.
thing
Yeah,
existed,
that's
if the
it.
trap thing existed, believe me, it was going to happen though. If you
Yeah,
had that trap thing in the U.S., it was going to happen.
yeah.
That's the people don't understand about Africa. They think we want to divide ourselves that way, but it's
Right.
just
No,
like people want to,
So
hold on to that
if African Americans did that, we'd all be dead.
yeah. Listen,
Yeah,
if the reason why people
Yeah,
get involved
yeah.
in that tribal thing,
Right,
we don't
right.
have jobs, brother. We don't have
Yeah.
jobs to do anymore. We need to
right.
be industrialized. Once we industrialize, we got people like you
Mhm.
running trucks, doing this and that. Man, they ain't got
Yeah.
time for that nonsense.
You got no time for who are working a long way. You want to know whether
That's
you're working alone as shanty man or a guy man.
Right.
You
we don't
people
give
in
a
the
damn.
factory working. You working in
That's
the
it.
factory. You don't care for who next on the line.
All that is
Well,
all time. My sister
I'm on.
is married to a Sierra Leone man. All my nephew, niece and nephew, they're Sierra Leone. During the war, they actually came to Ghana and they stayed there. They built a place in Accra. Now the war is over. Some of them go back and forth. It's mixing now in Africa. It's different now.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
I've taken
different.
so many of my about 5 brothers and sisters from the Caribbean back, and I got about 10 of them want to come with me.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now
so the
with
world is
that said,
changing.
brothers, with that said, I do live in America and I gotta go downstairs and do some American stuff with some American girls. So I
Yeah.
love y'all. I'll see Dinus tomorrow. And I will see y'all. Dinus will introduce me to y'all if somebody's in the
Come on,
country.
Mom.
I'm sure of that.
Yeah.
And was my Nigerian sister still there?
She might have dropped off.
Yeah, yeah. She was giving me some love. That might be. I ain't got no wife. I guess I found one.
Yeah.
Hey, Dinus, you still there, bro?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. Shout out to the $20 holla. Thank you. Y'all. Go
Hey,
ahead.
Dinus, if everybody good with me, then y'all know I ain't trying to say take the control. So when y'all see me in Nigeria, see me in Ghana, don't say I'm trying to tell the president, because I ain't trying to get put in jail over there for trying to talk crazy towards the president.
You'd be all right. You'd be all right.
All right, Dennis, man. Love y'all, man. Hey, it's sure a lot, brother. I'll see y'all again.
Yeah, brother.
Okay. All right, guys. We're going to go and close out. Everyone, thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, family. God is here. Search for Huru. Peace.
Thank you, Dan.
Peace.